Let's go. We're gonna watch some miniminuteman shorts right now. It's my first time watching these, so I'm just gonna start from the top, and we're gonna see what happens.
Steps in Peru.
You have got to be kidding me. Probably already know that this isn't a giant staircase. There still seems to be some confusion on it, so let me just drive it into the ground.
No, what do you mean, man? That's clearly a staircase that the giants made so that they can step. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, excuse you. That's what the giants made.
Last time. This is Ollantay Tambo. It is an Incan terrace farm. Milo, it looks like stairs. All right, riddle me this. If this was a staircase built for giants, why is there a human-sized staircase in the middle of it? And another
Nah, bro, nah. It's because the giants used to live with the small humans, bro. The giants used to live with the small humans. So that's why they made a smaller staircase for the humans as well. But nah, bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
human-sized staircase on the side of it. No, maybe they had human pets, a little pet on a guy.
Oh no, he knows it. He knows what I said.
On a string that really looks like a giant could live in it. Oh yeah, and this doorway too. It's like 5.5 feet tall. Let's use some context clues. What's that over there? Is that a terrace farm? Of course that's not a terrace farm. That was a staircase for baby giants. This is my favorite part. There is an entire valley right here. Where were they going? Why would you feel the need to build gigantic steps up this hill and into these tiny ass houses? Look at that. There's no stairs down the other side of the mountain.
So they could, they just stepped over it. I swear.
And this is what your giant stairs are made out of. Can you imagine a giant picking this up? Yes, we're gonna make a staircase so I can get over this hill. Giant conspiracy truly makes...
Okay, man, you've made your point. Okay, you've made your point. You don't have to kill me.
We believe that the human race is a lost cause.
Hey, weird question, but can you let me inside your house? Hello, please let me in. Until the 5th of April only, you can grab yourself the all-new PP Vampire Jester plushie. Make sure plushies are honestly always so well made. The details on this one are absolutely insane, so please consider grabbing one from the link in the description. It's one of the best ways to support me, and you also get to own me. Now back to the video. Bro, okay.
Dinosaurs actually exist.
Oh no, no. Oh, I see how this is gonna go. Yeah, guys, dinosaurs never existed, of course.
Wouldn't their bones be everywhere?
Really? We're doing dinosaur denialism? What is it, like 1830? Everyone and their mother's been tagging me in this dumbass video, so I guess I have to talk about it.
Put our critical thinking skills to the test this morning.
I'm putting him.
Now, one thing you didn't
Oh
do
my
this
god,
morning.
slay. Yes, guys, because, like, think about it. There would be bones in my house if they existed. Of course, guys. Yes.
And that is open Google even once. You could have educated yourself, used critical thinking even, but you didn't. And now you have to deal with me. Why don't we all find dinosaur bones in our backyard?
Yes,
Jesus,
of course. Why? Look, I dug a hole once, and there was no dinosaur bones. So, checkmate.
question could be answered by a dinosaur-obsessed toddler. I am from New England. Bedrock of New England is granite. Intrusive igneous rock, meaning that it has a volcanic origin. And not only was most of the granite in New England deposited before dinosaurs existed, but you can't have fossils in igneous rock. For the most part, dinosaur fossils can only occur in sedimentary rock. This is a map of dinosaur fossils.
I thought it was the fact that... Okay, jokes aside. What I thought was the case with the dinosaur bones is that... It's not that all the bones from the dinosaurs were preserved. The majority of them disintegrated. It's just that some of them kind of happened to be like encapsulated in rock and stuff and geodes in a perfect way to be preserved. You know? So it's not like all of them exist and all the bones we found is all the dinosaurs that existed. It's just that because there were so many of them, obviously, due to small chance, a couple of them happened to be possibly saved.
In the US. Unless you live here, forget about finding dinosaur fossils in your yard. And even if you did, you'd have to dig pretty deep to do it. 60 seconds is up, but I've only covered one of your points. I'm not done with you yet.
Dinosaurs actually...
No, you think we'll find part 2?
So a lot of the people are trying to tell me that the pyramids weren't built under the sand and that that's a crazy idea.
People are calling you crazy for thinking the Great Pyramid was built underneath 450 feet of sand? Yeah, I agree with you, actually. That's not crazy. That's batshit.
Wait, what? So what's this theory that they were built under the sand and then they got dug out? Like... Yes, but then why would it keep the cone on the outside?
Fucking insane is what that is.
So why did they only put gold at the top of the pyramid?
There is not a single person who knows what the capstone of the Great Pyramid was, or even if there was one. Who knows, maybe it was gold. And if it was, then maybe they clad the whole pyramid in it and it was all stolen. Considering you don't cite how you know what was on top of the Great Pyramid, I'm gonna
Bro, imagine it was all gold. That's so drip, though. That's actual drip.
assume you just pulled it directly out of your ass.
Because the gold tip was the only thing showing above the sand.
Have you ever
then what
touched sand?
what would be the
Parents
point?
ever bring you to a beach as a kid? You know, you dig in the sand, you try and dig a tunnel, and it immediately collapses in on itself. Why would you ever build something 400 feet tall with a 750-foot wide base underneath sand? Would you guys
Even I can't defend this one. Even I can't. That's just too stupid.
precision quarry 6.5 million tons of stone for me to just bury in the desert? Are you literally out of your fucking mind?
So a lot of the people are trying to tell me that
Damn.
Pyramids were built with sound.
Whoa! He's a sound bender. He built the pyramids like that.
Yo, you know what? I'm totally with it. The pyramids were built with a didgeridoo. Honestly, this is really cool. This dude's moving a rock with sound. Looks like he's living his best life. The thing he's moving weighs like 4 ounces. They're trying to build this.
Cause you don't understand. It was the giants, bro. The giants has big didgeridoos. The giants had big didgeridoos, and they built the pyramids with sound. Why didn't the giants just pick the rocks up with their hands? I don't know.
These blocks can weigh up to 15 tons. That's a lot of fucking didgeridoos. I'm not saying it's impossible. Clearly, if you had something big enough, you could move one of these blocks with sound. And that's the problem, because you need something so goddamn big to make the sound to move these, that moving the thing that makes the sound would then become the problem. Using a fucking 2-pound didgeridoo to, you know, move a 3-ounce rock is not a very good exchange rate when you're trying to move a 15-ton
No, it's okay, cause you're a giant.
piece of limestone. You have to get them all precisely lined up like that. Can you didgeridoo that a little to the left? I don't know how people think things like this are somehow more plausible than, you know, them using ropes and sticks to do it. Because personally, I think it'd be a lot easier to do something like this than to make a 10-story didgeridoo.
Pyramids were
Nah, don't worry, man. Don't worry.
It is impossible to build the pyramid.
I got 3 things for you that are gonna blow your
I am
goddamn...
actually curious, like, you know, I feel like no one's explaining to me perfectly aside as humans moving rocks. I suppose that's all it is. I suppose it's not that special how it happened, but...
There they are, all 3 of them. It does take balls to look at, like, the biggest pile of rocks on the planet and have your thought be... No.
Even with the technology we have now, we would struggle to build them.
With the technology we have now, we couldn't build a giant pile of rocks. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the
Dude, with the technology we have now, we can make a pyramid in a week, bro. Have you ever seen an excavator?
doubt that you're probably from a different planet. So let me bring you up to speed. We built this. It's like a building that's almost 1 kilometer tall. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Here's a dam that's so goddamn big that the lake it holds back has literally changed the rotation of planet Earth.
What? Wait, I need the lore on that.
95, the auto mile in Norwood. I mean, the things humanity is capable of when we put our minds together is truly astonishing.
It's Chinese, of course it's Chinese. Of course it's Chinese.
Before us were more advanced than we are today.
The ancient Egyptians lived in a desert and they were able to do this with just a bunch of sticks, rocks, rope, and a whole ton of forced labor. You're telling me that you couldn't do the same thing when you have access to a tower crane, Caterpillar 797 mining truck, and a goddamn Bagger 288. You don't lack the technology, you just have a skill issue.
It is impossible.
You haven't figured it out? It's an ice wall yet?
It's the ice wall! Wait, okay, but the ice wall. But guys, the ice wall is real. All of this has been bullshit, but the ice wall is real, right guys? Right guys? Dude, come on guys. We all can admit the ice wall is real, guys. We can all admit it to ourselves. I love the ice wall. Me too. Me too. You know, the bottom ice wall is Antarctica and the top ice wall is Antarctica 2. What's the other one called? What's the Antarctica and what the fuck else? Antarctica 2.
You take that patronizing tone with me, boy. You're wearing a hat that says ice wall. I wish I had the balls to walk around with a sign on my head that says I never learned how to read.
When the Navy went to Antarctica and flying a helicopter and panning, they never get to the end because It is an ice wall.
Whoa.
Yo,
Pause.
Sasageo, Sasageo, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. We're Attack on Titan.
Antarctica's really big, about the size of one Antarctica. But you seem to have gotten the size of Antarctica confused with the size of Rhode Island. Secondly, let's critical think for a second, if you can do that. By some lapse of judgment on my end, I decided
I like
to
how
give you
pressed he gets.
a helicopter.
It makes me want to rage bait even more.
I told you to fly it around Antarctica. Firstly, you wouldn't make it. It's too big, you'd run out of fuel, you'd crash into the ocean. For any confusion, see Rhode Island. Before you crashed into the ocean, if you were flying around Antarctica in a big counterclockwise circle, do you know what you would see out of the left window of your helicopter the entire time? A giant wall of ice. You wanna know why? Because that's what it looks like when you're looking at the side of a giant fucking circle. I've been sailing along this coast for 10 months. I think it's an infinite wall of jungle. The sheep keep telling me that I'm just sailing around Hawaii.
So sometimes I go outside and I see the neighboring house and I think it's an infinite wall of brick, you know? Nova Prime! Thank you for the Prime! Oh, what the hell, man? Nova Prime, thank you for the Prime. Whoa.
You haven't figured it out? It's an ice wall yet?
Don't you take that patronizing tone with
I
me,
did,
boy.
man.
You're wearing a hat that says I
When I first saw this, I was like, there ain't no way that town is actually
It's Attack on Titan again.
built inside a meteor crater.
Meteor town built in a 15 million year old meteor crater.
I mean, look at that. It's just too good to be true. Look at how circular that is. So I looked into it, and that's where I found that this town is absolutely built inside a meteor crater, and that this town is probably the
Whoa.
least interesting thing about this meteor crater.
Whoa, so this is one that's real.
This is the town of Nordlingen in Germany, and it's located inside the Nordlinger Rice impact crater. And you gotta be like, yeah, no shit, look at how circular that is. Of course it's an impact crater. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But here's an actual map of that impact crater. It's 15 miles in diameter. While technically that's true, it's a little misleading because it makes you think this is the crater. But the real crazy thing about this crater is it has a mineral found nowhere else in the world. It's called moldavite. It looks like this. It was a type
Is it what, you know, if I have some of this, can I get rid of Moldovians? Maybe?
of projectile glass that was formed when this meteor impacted the ground 15 million years ago. If you like geology, it's super cool because it's really fucking rare and only comes from this one crater. And if you're a crystal girly, it's really cool because it's super fucking powerful and can make you explode people with your mind. Do you want to learn more?
No, I wanna repel the Moldovians.
About cool archaeology and natural science, come check me out over on YouTube. You ever wondered why Scotland looks like that? What do you mean, what am I talking about? The
I've also wondered why the Scottish people talk like that, but I've been told that's rude to say.
Giant line that runs through the middle of it. You've never looked at that and thought, huh, that's a little weird. Well, that weird giant line is called the Great Glen. It's a valley that runs from coast to coast completely against the grain of all the other hills and mountains. The base of it has a series of these long freshwater lakes, including Loch Ness. They're all in a perfectly straight line and both look and are oriented differently than all the other lakes in the area. Take a moment to absorb the beauty. Alright, now let's talk about why it exists. This strange valley is the ghost of an ancient fault line, now creatively referred to as the Great Glen Fault. We're talking like 300 million years ago when the collision of Pangaea created the Appalachian Mountains. When all this ripped apart again, it caused some issues, including the Great Glen Fault, a strike-slip fault where both pieces of crust are moving in opposite directions to each other. This fault is so old that there's actually pieces
So, in a billion years, that piece of Scotland is gonna go up and the other one's gonna go down and it's gonna be two Scotlands?
of it that exist in northern Canada as well, has become inactive with the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. And during the last ice age, glaciers scoured this fractured rock, creating this strange valley. If you like weird things like this, sauce me a follow.
Damn.
You ever wondered why
We just found out how to build a pyramid.
Yo, the Basper Shop Pyramid, wait, it's true. We thought we couldn't build a pyramid, but all along we did. The Basper Shop Pyramid.
I like this guy. He's also a smartass. But unfortunately, he's one of the people who's gonna try and convince you that you couldn't build the pyramids with modern technology and that the ancient Egyptians had far more advanced and superior tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, his primary argument is pretty much just a compilation of OSHA violations. This argument is stupid,
What?
and he literally
So he just like Google some videos of excavators having issue and being like, oh yeah, oh that's yeah, it's over.
debunks it himself in the next, like, 2 seconds.
Or around 80 tons each, lifted over 50 meters off the ground. Not sure how they did that.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Just look at the picture right behind you. The ancient Egyptians did not lift the stones for the pyramid. They dragged them. Do you really think that people without modern
Bro,
technology
imagine
would...
being made to do this, man, for a fuck-ass pyramid. Imagine, bro, you're just there, you're like, oh, gotta pull this fucking rock. There's no point to this. There's no point for this, man.
Look for a way to pick the stone up off the ground and lift it. I encourage you to Google the phrase, work smarter, not harder. It takes way less people to drag it up a ramp than it does to lift it physically off the ground and move it over. And that's why this is a bad faith argument, because they're working harder, not smarter. What you do is tie 3 of these trucks to that stone and drag it in the course of an afternoon.
We just found out how to build a pyramid.
You guys are not going to believe this, which is good because it's not true. Every time I see this fun...
Okay, so what's this? Speed of light 299799245 coordinates of Giza. Oh, 29979. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
In fact, a little bit of my soul dies. It goes like this. The number for the speed of light is the same coordinates as the pyramids of Giza.
Dude.
I don't know what kind of
It means, you know, everything. It means everything.
crack these people are smoking. Considering this is one of my favorite examples of the collective aneurysm that is pseudo-archaeology, I thought I would talk about it and all of its faults. Riddle me this. This argument hinges on the speed of light being 299 million meters per second. You could say, whoa, well, how'd the Egyptians figure out what the speed of light was? And that would be very astute of you. The thing that I think is even more shocking about this is the implication that ancient Egyptians used the metric...
Yeah, wait, it's the implication that... Wait, I thought the conspiracy was like, oh, it's like, it's all been known. Like, it's like, you know, it's not even about the measuring system. It's about the knowledge, you know? But what they're actually implying is that the Egyptians just looked for the position of the coordinates. Like, the Egyptians had coordinates the way we measure them today. And put the pyramids there?
System. Do you not think that the aliens that built the pyramids would have used something else? Does the entire fucking universe use the metric system while America's
Except America, man. Except America.
still using imperial? Secondly, this is not...
Wait, did he make the same joke as me?
while America's still using imperial.
Yes.
Secondly, this is not a coordinate. That is a latitude line. It means that this is one band that runs all the way around the planet. Thirdly, it doesn't actually run through the pyramids. It runs next to them. If that's enough evidence for you, ooh, they must have also built Jacksonville, Florida. Do you know someone who believes...
No, not Jacksonville, Florida. No, mamas. No, that's where it gets scary. It's Jacksonville, Florida.
believes this, please refer them to a psychologist.
How is it possible to cut this using these?
My man looks like he's thinking.
Look, I cut wood. I made a fish out of wood.
Hard. The conspiracy theorist treats these granite sarcophagi like they were created in one step. So they have to jump to conclusions like, oh, they needed a circular saw to
Like, they didn't even have Grok to AI generate a picture of them. What the hell?
do it. Or it was done with lasers. Thinking this way, they overcomplicate it so much that the only seemingly possible explanation is something totally improbable. Are you ready to see how close he comes to figuring this one out?
Copper is 3, granite is 6.5.
Right here by quartz.
This means that in order to cut granite, you would need something harder, such as quartz.
Bro, you are one synapse connection away from figuring this one out. Only the Egyptians had large quantities of quartz. Copper didn't do the cutting. The quartz did. Very willfully misleading to be showing these tools. You wouldn't use tools like this to create something like this. Used copper saws. They would put...
Whoa! Copper saw, flat edge saw blade with dry sand abrasive. Whoa! So like you have two people pulling on the rocks?
Put sand into the crack, and the copper blade would work that aggregate and cut through the block of granite. It's been tested
so you don't
and
even need, you put the rocks through that, it cuts for you. Oh my god!
proven time and time again. I don't care if you have a hard time believing it. Yes, it would have been incredibly time consuming. Yes, the people that worked on it were highly skilled craftsmen. Let's not go crying alien tech just because you have a hard time understanding it. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, no, people used to do stuff. Like, there's a reason why the Sixteen Chapel and all those things are beautiful and that. Because people used to just actually make things for the sake of them being beautiful and not for the sake of making as much money as possible. So, that's just what happens when, you know, you change the goal of humanity from, like, self-enrichment in some sense of, like, a spiritual one. As in, like, doing, not, like, godly, like, doing things, you know? And when you change that to just making people get jobs and make as much money as possible, they're not gonna do stuff like that anymore.
Wow, that's a big-ass rock. Well, you'd be wrong. That is not a big-ass rock. It is a big-ass chunk of metal. In fact, it's actually the biggest-ass chunk of metal. This is the Hoba meteorite. Pretty amazing that it landed in front of all those seats. A Hoba meteorite is not only the largest...
Wait, some meteors are metal? Damn. Dude. You're subscribed to Markiplier? Of course I'm subscribed to Markiplier.
Just intact meteorite on the entire planet, but also the largest known piece of iron on the entire planet. It weighs 60 tons. The thing is fucking huge. Here's the weird part. Hoba meteorite has no impact crater. Bit strange. Let's talk.
Okay, my guess is that it didn't land where you see it. It got taken there to be put on display in that beautiful place. But they didn't actually land there.
About why. It's theorized that when the Hoba meteorite entered the Earth's atmosphere, it was going really goddamn fast. Probably around 20,000 miles an hour. But as it entered the atmosphere, it slowed down, potentially because of its shape being very flat on both sides. This would have increased its drag, meaning that its impact may have only been around...
So, okay, wait, so no, that is the crater. Okay, so that's the... Yeah, it's a tiny hole for a crater. Yeah, maybe it just felt like, like when you skip rocks on the beach and you find a flat rock and you throw the rock and rather than the rock going down, it goes like boop, 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 boop on the water because it's flat? Remember like that?
6,000 miles an hour. This would have both reduced the size of the impact crater and also preserved the projectile. Hoba was actually a tiny meteorite, which is actually why it's the largest intact specimen that we have. Because when something like this enters the atmosphere at 20,000 miles an hour, it does this. I know what you're thinking. Wow, that's a big-ass rock. Well, earlier this week, Polish archaeologists announced...
Polish! Polska Grom!
...that they had
vampire burial. Wait, that's me!
...discovered a vampire burial. No, I know what you're thinking. Is it a vampire? No. Is it a burial? Abso-fucking-lutely. This unfortunate young woman likely lived around the 17th century and was buried with full accordance to vampire superstition. As you can tell by the agricultural scythe across her neck, with the presumed intention being that if the deceased were to rise again to suck the blood of the living, she would be immediately decapitated. It's just like the old saying goes, why kill when you can...
Oh no, it is someone that they thought was a witch.
Overkill.
She must have done that trick with the finger where you detach your finger.
The young woman was also found with a padlock around her toe. This was likely more of a symbolic feature signifying the permanence of death and the banishment from the world of the living. So what is the story here? While archaeologists have found no immediate evidence of foul play, the presence of this one naturally protruding tooth has shed some light on the topic. And as heartbreaking as it is, we could be looking at a tale as old as time. One where the violence and hate from the fearful and superstitious is so often channeled towards those who are different. Earlier this...
Oh man, she had a weird tooth, so they killed her. She had a weird... Oh my god, it would kill me for this, because I have one that goes too high, Like, I have, like, holy shit. She had a weird tooth, so they're like, she's a vampire. Oh no, still water, still water, still water. An advanced civilization once ruled the Antarctic. No mountain has 4 sides with equal angles. Is the wind. Okay, my game theory for this is gonna be the wind is perfect here, so it just eroded it pyramidically.
You're actually right. No mountain does have 4 sides with equal angles, including fucking this one. Look at it. I've been tagged in so many conspiracy videos talking about this pyramid in Antarctica. So I'm gonna use this highly simple meme with the Sigma male stock footage behind it to break down why this conspiracy is fucking stupid. Firstly, it's worth noting that this peak doesn't even have a name, but it is part of the Ellsworth Mountains in Antarctica. Now, as far as mountains, it's fairly small, standing at about 4,000 feet, which,
that's average.
Is almost 3,500 feet taller than the Pyramid of Khufu, which is a little bit big for a pyramid. But Milo, if it's not a pyramid, then why does it look like a pyramid? Occam's razor, baby, the simplest answer is often the most likely. This shape is actually fairly common for geologic structures which were subjected to cold weather erosion.
Told you, it's the wind. Yeah, what I tell you, the wind. Okay, the wind.
Here's a picture of the Alps where you can see a suspiciously straight ridgeline. This shape is caused by repeated yearly freeze and thaw action, and not by aliens.
Okay, maybe it wasn't the wind. Maybe it was freeze and thaw. But it was really fun. We're gonna pick up where we left off next time and watch some more of these, but I'm gonna leave it here for now.